everybody, welcome back to tnoozLIVE at the Aviation Festival. Martin Cowan, Editorial Director for tNews. Next up we've got Joe Leader, who's CEO of the Airline Passenger Experience Association, or APEX as it's known to its members, family and friends. Not necessarily an organisation that tNews readers are overly familiar with, but I'm sure they will be shortly. So Joe, just give us a brief sort of elevator pitch about what APEX is and what your relationship with the airline community is.
Certainly, and thank you so much for having me on today, Martin. I appreciate it. APEX has been around for the past 40 years, Airline Passenger Experience Association, with every major airline in the world advancing passenger experience, focused initially on the aircraft, but as we've evolved over the past decades, we're covering every aspect of airline passenger experience from air to ground.
Okay, so you talked about the APEX started off as sort of like the in-flight part of the passenger experience. And
yes.
I know that you're talking on a panel later around the commercialization of connectivity. And
yes.
Basically, it's how can airlines make money from having Wi-Fi in flight? So what are the arguments in that quite niche area around the commercialization of connectivity?
We're at the beginning stages. If you look at the evolution of technology, let's look at computer technology. For decades, we saw computer utilization not really add to productivity, not add to overall economic profitability. Yeah. Airlines are about to go over and past that tipping point where you're going to see connectivity enable more personalization, more cost savings, more benefits to airlines on the ancillary revenue side, but also, and more importantly, there was a study that came out from the London School of Economics here. It was done at Apex Tech a couple months ago by our friends at Inmarsat, showing that there's a $15 billion a year cost savings by tying together from nose to tail connectivity and utilizing not only the making money part, but the saving money part. Today, we had the CEO of WOW, as we were here at Aviation Festival, talk about how one can of soda, taking it off an aircraft saves $150 per year for one aircraft. One can of soda.
Fuel costs.
Fuel costs. And so, using the type of intimate passenger knowledge, how can I best serve you as the individual? What type of soda or drink would you like on board the aircraft? If you can know what your passengers will like and enjoy, and you can serve and cater to their needs in the right way, that's yet another way that the personalization part of connectivity ties the entire airline ecostructure together.
So it's not just having my favorite movies, it's more operational,
It's, you know, the benefit of connectivity is allowing you, it's become a point this year. Apex has demonstrated with our friends as we've gone through the deployment of connectivity, we're at past 50% of overall available seat miles as of 2018. So connectivity is to a point where it's almost a given in Wi-Fi connectivity to on the ground or near-Fi connectivity, at least being entertained in the air. And so that's needed by passengers, but from an airline perspective, there's such a greater way to serve your passengers, give them what they want, make money while serving them. That's really what value is all about for every one of our airlines.
Okay, so you think sort of the long-term aim of sort of in-flight connectivity, in-flight Wi-Fi is commercialization. At the moment, is it more sort of brand positioning, customer service? I mean, what's the commercial state of connectivity currently?
Connectivity is past the tipping point where it's no longer an option. It will be viewed as a passenger experience requirement. Okay. So as we go past 50% of Wi-Fi connected aircraft to the internet, you'll see that everyone that doesn't have Wi-Fi will at least have near-Fi entertainment and services on their aircraft. I was flying Atlantic Airways this summer, for example, to the Faroe Islands, and lo and behold, they had a near-Fi system that made it look like I was connected to the internet, but in fact I was just connected locally, which on shorter flights that's fine, and it's a great fix for passengers. But long term, you're going to see more and more airlines turning to real-time internet connectivity to connect all of their services, not just passenger entertainment, but really how can we serve an individual and maximize their ancillary revenue to the airline and benefit to the passenger.
Okay, I mean one interesting element about the in-flight experience, and I've come across this a few times, is the argument around with everybody's got a phone, everybody's got an iPad, everybody's got a Mac, you know, you can watch you can watch your Netflix on the flight. I mean, is this idea of bringing your own device onto the board, how big a threat is that to the traditional seatback entertainment, or can that traditional seatback entertainment model adapt with connectivity?
It can indeed. That's a great question, Martin, because people have always assumed it would be one or the other. The great news that I have for every one of your viewers, it's both. Okay. We've projected through 2028, we will continue to see more and more screens on aircraft each and every year. The curve continues to go up, but this is the year where the number of bring your own device aircraft matches the number of in-screen, in-seat video aircraft, and so it will continue to grow together. And a great example of that is, for example, in the US, Delta Airlines has over 600 aircraft now that have in-seat screens, but they have 1,200 aircraft that also have video on demand through your own device. Amazingly, 600 of those aircraft are the ones that also have screens. So you're seeing passengers, if you walk through a cabin full of screens, the utilization rate typically is between 70 and 80% by passengers, versus bring your own device, streaming is about 10% on average across our carriers. If you watch passengers with screens in front of them, they do what they do at home. They have one device where they're on their phone, they're browsing the web, on the internet, and they're watching a movie in front of them. We see that people want that at-home environment, so long as the economics make sense for airlines, we see that continuing in a healthy way.
Okay, that's interesting, because there's this thing about sort of dual screening, is the idea that everyone's sort of watching TV and they're on their phones. It seems like people are basically doing that at 30,000 feet now. So
it's true, and I triple screen. I have my work computer in front of me, I'm texting off my mobile device, and because everyone expects always availability, whether it's WhatsApp or texting through normal messaging, and then I treat myself on an aircraft. It's the one place where I allow myself to work and enjoy, because I have the screen above, I have my laptop, and then I have my phone right there. And it's sincere. I would do that whether I was CEO of Apex or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes one gets overwhelmed with choice, and sometimes it's quite nice to have your viewing curated by the in-flight entertainment seatback system.
Yes.
But you can also have stuff going on the other side.
Well, that's it. And passengers, 80% of the content that they watch on board aircraft when there's an in-seat viewing system, they're watching new content. They're not going to, oh, this is familiar to me. They're going to what they haven't seen and what they would enjoy, 4 out of 5 times. And it's nice, because I've actually gone from shows I've watched and experienced for the first time, I want to bring them home to my family, so I'll buy a movie at home that I saw on an aircraft, and it's the only series I've ended up watching that are new series recently are ones that I started on an aircraft, are like, oh my God, I only get to see 3 of these, I want to see the rest, and I buy them off Apple TV at home just to see the rest of them.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, it's fascinating, the whole sort of in-flight entertainment, Wi-Fi connectivity, it's a different area of travel tech, and it's something we're going to be looking at.
It absolutely is. And what I think you'll be most fascinated at from a T-News perspective, you're going to see more and more airlines talking about the one-to-one passenger experience that they're able to deliver off connectivity. Because you'll hear all of our speakers here at Aviation Festival talk about, okay, we're going to have artificial intelligence looking at our passengers, but really, how are they going to be serving them? And what we view at Apex is, it's not going to be people walking around with glasses, reading something off a screen in their eyes. It's going to be an earpiece. You're going to have a flight attendant that walks up to you, recognizes you by name, and says, you're coming back on a same-day business trip. Would you like a gin and tonic with lemon? Because you like it with lemon instead of lime. And those touches, through an earpiece, it's beautiful. Air New Zealand's already using Google earbuds today, and it's a great example of how connectivity can tie together our entire ecosystem.
And also there is that argument that the better the in-flight experience, the more chance you're going to be a repeat customer.
Indeed.
And, the economics of that are quite compelling. So Joe Leader,
thank you.
CEO of Apex, thanks very much for your time. Delighted
it's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, Martin Cowan, Editorial Director for T-News, signing off, but I'll be back shortly. Thank you.